streaming. We are going to go to Twitter. We are going here. Streaming now. Official. And then we're going to put this here. All right. Share. And then we are going to wait for people to get here. Is it public? Okay. Whew. All right, people, let's give it a second. And then we can talk. Wait for people to get here. Yeah, I was just on Dave's show. That was a lot of fun. I always love talking to him. I'm going to put my phone on silent. Oof. What is going on, guys? Got a lot to discuss. I've also been buying all this crazy stuff with the super chats, but I'll have to show you that on another stream. I showed one of the things I got today on Dave Smith's show, which was a shaving soap that smells like Hubba Bubba, like Hawaiian Punch. I've got the last one. So I'm actually drinking my Ghost pre-workout so I can get nice and tweaky on this live stream. I just wanted to give it a try. Good times. Okay, we got 49 people here. It's telling me we'll give people another minute to get here, and then we can discuss what happened earlier this week when I was in LA and I had the hagfish. Why'd I eat all that hagfish? Shouldn't have eaten all that hagfish. Thanks, Bradley. Thanks again, Bradley. That pays for a Monster, which I do have right here. I do have my Monster. Whew. All right, we got 80 people. We'll give it another minute. Give it one more minute. Then we'll probably hit 100. Even though I know you guys see different numbers than I do for some godforsaken reason. 123. Okay, cool. So, let's talk about... Oof, my sore throat. I don't have a sore throat. Why did I just say that? Let's talk about... I guess we could talk Rogan first, because that was on Monday. I definitely want to talk to you guys more about the book and your reactions and things like that. Rogan was a lot of fun from my perspective. I did not look at any of the comments with one exception, which is my friend who I clowned on the show. He's like, the Reddit people really like you. Jim Satala, I got a weird DM from George Papadopoulos today. Now I'm staring out my window waiting for the FBI to show up and detain me. Yes, you are being detained, Jim. You are being detained. So, doing Rogan is always, to me, nerve-wracking in this sense. Like, this happened to me last time as well. We set up the date weeks ago. I didn't hear from him. And then the night before, I still hadn't heard from him, and I was all panicking. And I knew it was completely irrational because this happened last time, but still, I was, like, bugging out, which makes no sense at all. And then, he just DM'd me and whatever. And we scheduled it. I had a mistaken impression about his show, which got cleared up this time, which was this. I had always thought that the first time you do his show, it is the biggest deal, and then there's kind of diminishing returns because, like, oh, you've been on already, it's not that big a deal. And I realized it's not that way. which is it's actually increasing returns the second and third time you go on, because the first time, okay, oh, you're that North Korea guy, whatever. The second time it's like, okay, the North Korea guy's back, and like the third, fourth, or fifth, hopefully, you get to be kind of a regular and a floater to some extent around his orbit. So um, that is kind of so I did not at all. We did barely talked about the book, and that I was perfectly fine with. I really just wanted to be a cool hang. As some of you know, which I didn't really know, if you're having a good time with him, he'll go to 3 hours. And in fact, we could have gone longer. At 3 hours, he's like, all right, it's been 3 hours. Let's ready to go. So I really enjoyed that. I think what's the best thing for me about Rogan as a fan is when he does that friendship simulator thing, and you're watching it and you feel like you're like broing out with a couple of interesting people, or hopefully interesting. I can't. Yeah, I didn't hear from Tulsi's people at all. That's not a surprise. I'm glad she got called out as a consequence of that. But just kind of poking fun at her. What if anyone has any questions? Of course, you can just throw them in there. What else did I want to talk about on the show? It was also went very, very fast, and I was glad I got to give him that mini museum. I really love being in a position when I do that show and other shows to be able to. I hate it when people are like, oh, everything's been done, everything's boring. There's so many creative people doing awesome, interesting things. Jay Kulo, love the book. Thanks for what you do. You are appreciated greatly. Have a few monsters on your fellow anarchist dime. Mazel tov. L'chaim. L'chaim, my friend. Thank you very much, Jay. So I reached out to Mini Museum. I said, give me one to give to Joe. I did not get paid, nothing like that. It was my idea. And and here's something that's really funny. I'm like, here, I gave it to Joe. I messaged them. I go, do you know how hard it was for me to give him this mini museum and not say that it contained John Bonet's sash and Kate Spade's scarf? And they're like, actually, we had someone's ashes that we were going to put in one of them. So, like, it wouldn't have been that weird. But I wanted to keep it classy and tasteful. Because when someone's creating something, and, I did my last book was a Kickstarter, and it's like a labor of love, you want to, not besmirch them or anything. What is / should be the relationship between, I don't believe in should. What is the relationship between the intellectual dark web and the new right? I think the intellectual dark web is much more, that term is loosely defined, of course. I think that term is much more about an approach to inquiry. And it's an unorthodox approach, or quasi-unorthodox, and it's not politically based. And one of the overlaps is, if you have this approach to knowledge and a skepticism and let's go down rabbit holes, that is going to tie you in with the new right, because one of the new right's claims is that we have progressive hegemony culturally. So if you are going to be interested in intellectual curiosity, you're going to be questioning the overarching culture. So I think that would be the big overlap between the two groups. Any chance of buying signed copies? I'm going to do it at some point, like not in the near future. So let me get settled in with some stuff before I do signed copies. It's the other thing with the signed copies. I don't want to be the asshole. I'm very big on don't punish good behavior. I think so. If people went out and bought it already, the week it came out, which was support to me, I don't want to be like, oh, you bought it? Well, now you have to buy it again. Like, I think that's a dick move. So that's the situation with that going on there. Oh, hey, it's David. What's going on, David? So, yeah, I had, a lot of fun with him. When you're in that room, as I've said before, you don't have any awareness of how big the audience is. And actually, I was really glad that I shouted out my gym and I yelled at the people in there. So I went in yesterday. I go late last night, and it was funny because one of the two guys signing me in, the young dude, had watched the show. He's a fan. How do you feel about talking about anarchy / liberty on a program like Rogan? I feel very, very fortunate, and I feel very, I don't know if careful's the word, but I'm like, okay, I'm carrying a big load. I really got to be careful here. And a lot of people are kind of have my back. You guys who are support me on Patreon or whatever, to help promote this kind of set of ideas. So I really gotta be responsible here and do my best. So I take it very, very seriously. Why no Bronze Age pervert mention in the book? Anything cut? The only thing that was cut was a joke. Um, I didn't mention him. I don't know. I didn't. I didn't. I feel like it would be weird to mention someone who I didn't know who they really were, like his real name. Not that I would out him, but like I don't really know that much about him. Plus, he's a lot more jacked than me, so that automatically there's a jealousy thing going. Well, not jealousy thing there, but yeah, you know what I mean. I don't like the word jealousy because it implies the person doesn't deserve what they have. I admire him for that enormously. Um, and Why isn't this book about the New Left? Why didn't the conversation go live? It's been a bit. You'd have to ask Joe. I can't speak on that. Uh, um, Tell us the joke that got cut. Sure. So there's a section of the book where I'm talking about dark humor. Sorry if you mentioned it already, but what was the joke that got cut from the book? I'll tell you right now. There was a section in the... I did get into the audio. There's a section in the book where I'm talking about dark humor. And I say... And I can find the edits at some point, but I won't. Where I say, you have to know your audience, right? You're not going to tell a room full of kindergartners a joke about... A person wouldn't tell a room full of kindergartners a joke about fellatio, no matter how good they were at it, because the kids wouldn't understand the term. And they thought I was trying to say... I didn't even write it that way on purpose. They thought I was trying to say that the speaker is good at telling the joke, when the joke is that the kids are good at fellatio, and they try to reword the sentence, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize it could be misconstrued. Leave it. And it got through like 4 rounds. And then they called in the editor at the last possible round, and he's like, you have to cut this. And I'm like, all right, but it's in the audiobook, and also referring to The Matrix as a documentary is in the audiobook as well. And there was one other little thing that got cut that I snuck back in. So yeah. So I was very proud of that joke. I was really proud of that joke. So yeah, like when you're in that room, it's kind of, you're not really aware. So the other thing, and I've said this before, there's something else that got cut that hopefully it's gonna see the light of day. When we did what eating disorder do you have? I have like body dysmorphia. And also, so I guess it's kind of like, just being obsessive about food, whatever. And that's something that's never going to go away. And that's fine. I work with it. I hope this isn't obnoxious, but I bought 3 gift codes. That's not obnoxious. For the new ride on Audible to gift out a week ago. 1 was claimed. There's 2 if anyone wants them. Free books, idiots. Take it. Be Jews about it. So that's very nice of you. I like how you're paying to give people free copies of the book. That is appreciated. So what else? So Rubin. Okay. I did a bit... Are you sure that kindergarten joke wasn't in the Kindle version? I'm 99% sure, Darren. I mean, more than 99. Who is Harvey? Harvey Pekar, who wrote Ego and Hubris, the book about me. Rubin was the next day. And I think it's really important to me, and this is... When people say... I hate it when people say pro tip as a heuristic when they're not pros. I'm speaking to you as a pro. Pro tip. And I've said this on Twitter today. If you have 2 big shows like Rubin and Rogan next to each other... Respect your hosts. It is a privilege to be on either of these shows, right? So, what are some things... And the fact that Rubin was second, I didn't want him to think that he was sloppy seconds, because he wasn't. So, what did I do? I put on that Willy Wonka Cesar Romero outfit on Rubin. There was an opening routine. So, I'm in the makeup chair, and I'm not going to... I'm going to not give you the punchline, guys. I'm going to warn you in advance. And I call his husband in. And I go, this is what I want to do. Are you cool with this? And he goes, well, we would have to cut for the first time in Rubin history, but let's go for it. And we go out, because he's like, it'll be better if we get Dave's reaction live. We go out, I do this whole routine, Dave doesn't know what to make of it. Like he's like, oh my god, this is hilarious, but like it's chaos, right? And they cut. Then we restarted. He did the intro again. That's why you see me laugh a bit when I say about it's good to be back, because I meant back a second introduction. And I emailed David, who's his husband, his producer. I said, what's going on with this clip? And he goes, we'll release this as an outtake or something. Just be patient. So when you see this, you're going to lose your minds. Okay? And one of the things that I learned from Drag Race is put on a show and make an entrance. This is an opportunity for you. When you're doing any show, when I'm on TV, dress up a bit. It's an opportunity to stand out, and this is the cost could not be lower. A suit that's a little colorful costs the same as a regular colored suit. Now the Willy Wonka thing, that was off the charts, but that's because I was tying into what he had called me. And the guy before me was a guy who was talking about inventing robots and AI, and I'm like, dude, you're literally a mad scientist. It's just something, anything. Come on. So my outfit from head to toe. Ooh, so I had that purple blazer. I've got the lime green shirt. I had the orange herringbone pants. Oh, Jesus Christ. So Adam is the donation king, eh? Buy yourself something fun. Bravo on the book. Adam is not the donation king, Greg. You're the donation king. Adam was the one who specifically said, buy something stupid. So okay, let's talk about anarchism, okay? When someone super chats me or gives me money and says this is for X, I regard that as my autism. I regard that as like legally bound. So they said buy something stupid. It was not easy, but I bought a lot of stupid things. I'll show you one of the stupid things I bought right now. Give me 5 seconds. All right. You want stupid? You came to the right place. Garbage Pail Kids energy drink. That's right. I bought it. Stupid. Here's something else that's stupid. Oh, what's that? There's Garbage Pail Kids cereal. Want to see stupid? Here is a belt made of hippo leather. I don't need it, but it's stupid, and now I own it. So, yeah. Rogan sucked on his part, barely got to the book. I think you're wrong. I really, his show is a hang, right? So it doesn't have to be, about the book. He's not a shill. So I would look at it as Rogan was talking about promoting me as a personality, which he did. So I really disagree with that at all, completely. Yeah. So that's there was more stupid stuff I'm getting. I just got Hawaiian Punch. Oh, I got this shaving brush made out of bullhorn. Why? Because it's stupid. The Rogan interview is pretty awesome, especially the part about steak. Made me hungry. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Dirty Sock. Did you see the Bannon from Monk debate? I have not. It felt like an important moment. I haven't seen a better display of contrast between the neocons and the populist right. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. You're the best. I haven't seen it. I think a good contrast between those schools of thought is my book. I mean, there's a really, I think I draw that distinction pretty well done. I am shocked and delighted. Oh, please write list of books which influenced you and list of personalities as well. Love the new write on your podcast. Do more and take my money. Sure, I'll give you a list right now. The Machiavellians, Jonathan Haidt, The Righteous Mind, Steven Pinker, The Blank Slate. Go to my Goodreads. Sort them by ranking. If it's 5 stars, you should. That's one of my must-read books. That's how you do it. Um, good times. Okay, so what were we talking about? Ruben. So I am very big on um, actions speak louder than words. This is not particularly. Tom Woods barely read the book. Big phony. Oh god. Um. That's really funny. Um. One of the what? So I'm very big on actions speak louder than words, right? If someone says to you, "Oh, I like you. I think you're smart. You're funny," like whenever you do this show, great, we'll have you back. They always say that, right? And the first time you do it a few times, you think, "Oh, I did great." You probably didn't do great. So we're before the show starts, I'm in the makeup chair. Ruben comes in, and he's like, "We got a lot to talk about," and he goes, I'm going to do something for the show on the first time that I've never done. He goes, and I'll tell you on air. And I had just talked to his husband, who was also like, we're going to do something for the first time I've never done before. So then when he's on air and he's like, for the first time, I'm going to have notes. I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, that is so flattering. I mean, this guy talks to the best people. And then when he says, whatchamacallit, when he's like, at a certain point, and Rogan did this the second time I was on also, he's like, what do you want to talk about? When you're the host of this show and you just basically give the interviewee the mic, that to me is the biggest possible compliment and show of respect and respect. So I was like, thank you, David. It was like, holy crap. So it really was very touching to me, to be honest. And it felt great. And I'm getting a little hot from this energy drink, and I don't even care. Good times. So, yeah, it was very. And the thing is also, oh God, Greg, what did you think of the quote from Dave? Yeah, okay, we talked about this on Greg's show, on Dave's show. You guys are so transparent. You think you can organically troll me, like I mean, no, inorganically you're all gonna get together and through numbers I'm gonna get trolled. It just makes you all look like NPCs. It's very sad stuff. Me and Dave talked about it on Part of the Problem, which he'll be uploading tomorrow. Which are you more attracted to, androgynous trans men or non-passing pre-op trans women? Wait, is an androgynous trans man, a trans man is female to male? Yeah. Yeah, of course that's more. Yeah, no, non-passing. So the first one is someone who has a vagina and is androgynous. The second one is someone who looks like, who's not passing, who has a penis. It's the first one I'm more attracted to. So, yeah, that's what is so those are kind of my thoughts. The next day, thanks, Greg. The next day, I fucking had Jason Stapleton. I don't know why I just said fucking. I'm sorry. Did you get troll triggered today? I didn't. I don't. Only no. I don't understand how. If you guys wanted to troll me, let me tell you how it's done. You amateurs. It's really sad. If you guys had wanted to troll me, what you would have done is taken my quotes, made memes of them, and gotten them slightly wrong. I would have been apeshit. Thank you, PS3 kid. So it would have been like, conservatism is like progressivism driving the speed limit. That would have made me batshit. So it'd been like, you take one red pill, not a bottle full. Things like that. That would have gotten to me. And instead, like, oh, we got a quote from Dave Smith. I don't care. Let the quote get out there. Dave's great. And the fact that it was all Dave's, you know what I mean? So I'm embarrassed for you all, to be honest. And this is also why when people are like, oh, you could dish it out, you can't take it. Two things. One is, Mike Tyson doesn't like getting punched in the face. Number one. Number two is, a lot of times when people are dishing it out, they're not doing it well. And this is the example. You guys are trying to troll me. You did it badly. Very badly. What we want is beautiful, clean coal. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, the corporate press is the enemy of some people. Or the corporate press are the enemies of the people. That would have been funny. So, yeah. I would be glad to uh I mean, this just to show you, I'm a good sport. Not that I'm a good sport, but it's just like it's not that it was disappointing to me, to be fair. Michael Malice, the only man qualified to troll Michael Malice. That is false. Ethan Suplee trolled me perfectly on my show. If you watch the very end, I've been trolled, and there are times I've been trolled on Twitter when someone is so profoundly stupid that they're unintentionally trolling me. And I know it's not, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So let's also talk about Jason Stapleton. Oh, Greg! Legally binding. This is for... No. No. A nanocube aquarium? What am I going to put in there? I can't... What am I going to put it... Okay, you know what? I'll do it. I'll get a beta. I'll get a really cool beta. Or I'll figure something out. Okay, I'm going to write this down. Hold on, I got to write this down. Greg. Okay, a deal's a deal. You shouldn't say that it's a sponge, though. It's a meteor. Okay, what's next? Sorry, hold on. Book equals excellent. Which Vox Day would have given you an interview? Cantwell was always nuts, but his part still made me sad. Missed the old Liberty days. Yeah, that's a react. I think a lot of people are... You're not the first to tell me they were touched by the Cantwell part. Vox Day's in it a lot. He says, and I'm 100% sure he's telling the truth, he didn't know who I was and missed the email. So, yeah. That was brilliant. My favorite interview so far. Hold on. Okay. It was pretty good when you got trolled on Nightshade thinking Junior unfollowed you. That's correct. That is correct. Garrett trolled me as well. Yes. And Gavin is good at trolling me. Although I don't know if it's technically trolling as much as taunting me and pushing my buttons. So, let's talk about that Jason Stapleton. So, I'd been on Jason's show once before, and it was over Skype, and I couldn't see him. And I knew that he and his co-host had read the book, and it was going to be in person. And Jason is a bit of a, I don't want to say square, but like he's a studious type, right? Certainly compared to me, he's not going to be dressing like Willy Wonka. And I also knew that he respected me and knew my shtick, which means I'm in a position to really clown him, and he would appreciate, like with Tom. Tom knows, okay, it's coming from a place of love and friendship and admiration. It's not coming from a hurtful place. So with Stapleton, we're sitting there, and I just kept nailing him over and over. And because he has a good sense of humor, even though he's not a humorist himself, he knew the blows were landing, and then he has to laugh. And then I just kept getting more and more and more. So those two interviews were really, really excellent, especially because when you're talking to a host who's read the book and it's obviously been thought-provoking for him, he had some really excellent questions. He really made me think. So those three interviews were very, very different, and I think they're all worth watching. And I was proud of myself because I hate, especially with like celebrities on a movie tour, like they're all going to talk about the movie, the same anecdotes. I really want someone who likes the book or the work can watch all three interviews and be like, all right, this is very different and it's a different experience. Then I was on with Bridget Fetisi, and it was just also us hanging, like just goofballs, cracking each other up. She hadn't read the book, which was fine. So, hey, Michael, congrats on the book. Always rooting for you to win. Would you write a book on the left? Oh, I already know my next book's going to be, and it's on the left. And don't ask me to tell you anything else. Yeah. So, Bridget hasn't been released. Then, today, I did an interview with Dave Smith, which is obviously going to be different from the other three, and we had a great time. I mean, he's obviously, hardcore Rothbardian, and this was, much more kind of just for pro-liberty anarchy people. And then I did one with John Gabriel from the Conservatarians, and I was talking there to strictly the conservative audience. And I think literally 12 times I went a little rant, And John goes, I agree completely. And I think conservatives are going to be receptive to lots of my message. And one of the things I had hoped to do with this book is to red pill conservatives, some of them, and realize these people are not playing for these people are playing for keeps. Hey, Michael, I'm the guy in that picture that Matt Eisman sent you last week, which I have your book. Oh, hey, Mark. Yeah, so Matt Eisman sent me a text. He saw the book in the wild, and he went up to you. He's like, hey, who's that? And you're like, oh, my God, Michael Malice is one of the best writers of my generation. And you didn't know who he was, so which I thought was really, really cool. So it's a thank you. And I hope you like the book. I hope you all enjoyed it. What I was going to say earlier is... have you seen the miniseries on Chernobyl? I have not yet. I have not. I also, when I was on Dave Smith, one of the things I was trying to do with the book is, for people who are on the left, I don't expect them to be converted, but I do expect them to be like, oh, okay, I get what this is about. And an enemy that is defined and real is a lot less threatening and causing you to be crazy than this nebulous amorphous monster. So I'd much rather think about it. Who would you rather fight, a bear or a demon? It's gonna suck to fight that bear, but get some guns. People kill bears all the time. Demons, we got a problem here. So yeah. So that's the situation with that. Yeah, the Jason Stapleton interview was so much fun. I was making fun of him for being dressed like Luke Perry. Which if you look at the Instagram, he's dressed like that. Let me finish off this energy drink. Still a bit confused by NRX, but intrigued by Mencius Moldbug. Way too dense and verbose. Is there any longer form source on NRX that condenses? I have no idea. I wish I had a better answer for you. A lot of them tend to be very wordy. And NRX is a large... They're going to yell at me. It's an often undefined term. There's some nebulousness to it. Okay, hold on. As a recovering conservative, I agree the red pills could work on conservatives to a degree. And Darren, I think what had happened, my point that I said to John Gabriel, I had a DM from a prominent conservative, Catholic, square. I'm not using that in pejorative sense. And they're like, oh, it took me a while to realize these people want me dead. And like I said on Dave Smith today, it wasn't that they may literally want you dead, but they want you vanished. They don't want you to exist. And I said this to Glenn Beck before they book come out. I go, Twitter's a so private company. If you don't like it, make your own Twitter. Glenn leaves to make The Blaze, his own network. You think they're letting him rest? No, they go to The Blaze. They try and destroy The Blaze. So that's a lie, that if you leave and make your own network, it'll be fine. Jake Watson. Did Molyneux convince you to write book on the left? LOL, the section about meeting culture was so funny. Love the book, Michael. You ought to have Gavin on your welcome. I've had Gavin on your welcome before. That Molyneux tweet, I really didn't understand it. I'm using that quite literally because Chris Cantwell is not the focus of the book. He emailed me. He's like, I'm glad to know you wrote a book about me. I talk about the universities more than I talk about Cantwell. There's a whole chapter on them. And all the interviews I've been doing have been talking about the universities, and this has been a thing of mine for quite a long time. In the book, it specifically quotes Moldbug as saying, if the tanks came into Harvard Yard, that wouldn't necessarily be such a bad idea. So one of the points I tried to put forward in the book is that contrary to the conservative idea that, like, in the somewhat recent past, the left has taken over academia, that this has been there for over 100 years. And if that doesn't come through, that's on me, but the idea that it's about primarily or exclusively Cantwell, it made no sense to me. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Gavin McIngus, when can signed copies of the new Right be bought? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I missed the super chat? No, I didn't. Okay, next. What's next? When someone you think is truly horrible falls ill, do you celebrate or empathize? Neither. Only if they're like in power and then they have to resign. But the thing is, I said this on was it Jason Stapleton or Rubin? I hate that joke with libertarians make, like, who's your favorite president? William Henry Harrison. I want to abolish the presidency. So if a person, if it's not going to be, that's the other thing. They're like, oh, AOC is so dumb. If AOC is gone, it's going to be another vote that's identical. It's that's not, and I wish no one really, almost, ill will, So it's neither. I don't care one way or another, I guess, is the answer to that question. Um, whew. Okay, we're caught up. Okay, be cool. Act cool. Be cool. What else did I want to talk about? Um, Conservatarians. Was Ethan Suplee willing to talk about Scientology? He seemed very cool in the show, surprisingly. I know that's on his Wikipedia. I've hung out with him a couple of times. I've never asked him about it. I feel like that's the kind of question that you don't ask someone on air because it's going to be weird if he is or if he had been. So he's such an awesome dude on every way that I didn't want to go there. And I don't want people to think of him as the Scientology guy because he has so much to offer. Been 100% ANCAP for 10 years. You're not 100% ANCAP. You're fired. No. I have a doctorate in continental philosophy. While very intrigued by NRX early on, the verbose prose turned me off very quickly. Let's talk about that verbose prose. One of my friends, who's the first one to introduce me to this world, thought that Moldbug wrote that way on purpose in the same way you have a cover charge to a bar to keep out the undesirables, right? People, if it's too boring for you to read, good. You shouldn't be reading anyway. I asked Moldbug about that. He said, no, that's just his writing style. Okay, I'm the Ancom who expressed my love for your book on Twitter already. I just want to say that I'm surprised Sam Hyde wasn't covered beyond the quote. Yeah, I guess. That's a fair... but that quote's so good. That's the... And I'm glad that you realize that, I always say I'm an anarchist without adjectives and that I am more comfortable defending anarchy than capitalism. So if you're an ANCOM, and I always am the first one to say, yeah, the first anarchists were communists, and anyone else who says otherwise doesn't know their history. So thank you. Will you be refereeing the Gavin Coppercap fight? Is that actually happening? I will not. I will not be refereeing that. The thing, final chapter presents hope mostly for the Rothbard anarchist crowd. Is there hope for nationalist crowd and issues they care about, i.e. immigration? You look at Trump. I would say no. And I'll give you a good example. California passed Prop 11, whatever it was, in the 90s with Pete Wilson was the governor. And it had all this anti-immigration, I don't mean that in a pejorative sense, into law. It was struck down, and California since then has gone hardcore blue. So I don't think if you're a nationalist in that sense, anti-immigration, that you have any hope. Not gonna lie. Whew. Oh, good times. Excuse me. Let me finish my drink. All right, now we go to the monster. That Sam Hyde quote is a great one, though. I'm very proud. I'm curious about. I asked this question of Dave, and I want to really enjoying the book. What's your favorite Simpsons quote? Oh, I have so many. Here's one I've been ruminating about recently, and this is not a good answer, but it's unanswered. It's not a favorite, so that's okay. Which is Lisa was explaining the rivalry with Shelbyville, and she goes, "They built a mini mall, so we built a bigger mini mall," and it took me like 15 years to realize how funny bigger mini mall is. And then she goes, "They baked the world's largest pizza, so we burned down their city hall." And the way she was matter of fact, like, "Oh yeah, they did this, so therefore we burned down their city hall," like it's just a logical response. That I think is really, really funny. But I've got so many. I could quote that shit all fucking day. Oh no, I've been saying one all the time. Like when I'm with Tom and he's like, all right, we're gonna wrap the episode, and I go, that'll hold those little SOBs, from Gabo. So yeah, you mentioned Cody Wilson. What do you think the odds are he was framed? I think close to none, because from the way all the data that came out, it didn't look possible that he was framed. Whew. Good times. Good times. I'm your spirit animal? How could a lich be a spirit animal? Oh god, I've gone down this rabbit hole with the shaving soaps. Ooh, it's a problem. It's a problem. So what I want to hear from you guys is, What do you? What do I want to ask? What? 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 I feel like Neil Hamburger. Um, let's talk about each. Do you think AOC is actually a brilliant con woman? She gets elected at 29 or whatever. I don't think she's brilliant, but she's nowhere near as dumb as everyone says. I think she's marginally intelligent. And I think it's really sad how the Republicans just took all the Sarah Palin jokes, crossed out Sarah Palin, and wrote AOC. Valerie, did you like the Veep finale? I tweeted this. After that finale, I was 3 episodes left to go. I said Veep might be the funniest show of all time. After the finale, I think Veep is the best comedy of all time. I thought there was a chapter roasting Buckley. There was a chapter roasting Buckley. Did you miss that? I don't understand. Whew. Oh, I'm getting all sweaty from this energy drink, but at least it gives me energy to talk to you people. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to hear your reactions to the which should we talk about first? I know you don't vote, but you said you love Telsey. Would you consider voting for her? Absolutely not. It is not even a little. Do you use Marvis because you avoid fluoride? No, I use Marvis because I'm a hipster. I have 10 all flavors of Marvis, and I'm going to sell them once I try them all. Veep over Arrested Development, not even a question. The last season of Arrested Development was unwatchable. You should interview Michael F. Dean, Insane Life and Story. He's back to making music. I'm trying to avoid people who are in like the libertarian scene. Yeah, I don't find that, and I don't find that interesting. I'm trying to be much more. Oh, the real original. Yeah, but it's much better than Arrested Development. Not even a question. I have news. I've got good news. We're gonna do a first for You're Welcome. You ready? It's gonna be a first time ever. Ben Domenech, who's the head of the Federalist, is gonna be a guest on my show. Bitcoin or Ethereum, do you think they have a future? Yes, they both have a strong future, and I'm hodling both. Calling White Gravy pus always made me return the book. Oof, I had to live it. But really, the book was great, finished in 2 days. Thank you so much. Oh, God, Veep is so good. It's so good. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. It's I think, the best comedy of all time. Oof, I'm getting hot. What was I going to say? Yeah, excuse me. What do I want to talk about? I wanted to hear from thoughts on how effective or accurate Vox's anti-social justice warrior book is. Well, I quote from it extensively in The New Right. I think it's very effective. Here's what I think makes an effective book, and this is what I endeavor to do. And this is what happens to me when I read a book. If a book is something I disagree with, but it makes me think through my ideas and understand them better and be like, no, I really do think this for these reasons, that is effective and successful. And I think his book does that very well. I haven't read his book on Jordan Peterson, so I can't speak on that. Okay, so Ben from the Federalist is going to be on You're Welcome. Do you consider anarchy a state of being? If so, in what ways do you yourself practice anarchy? Yes, I don't aggress against people. And my relationships are voluntary. And if someone doesn't want to have a relationship with me, meaning they think I'm not funny or interesting or stupid or ugly, whatever, I don't wish them any harm. It's a big world. Please go live a happy life and be kind and produce value. So Ben Domenech. Ben is the head of the Federalist, married to Meghan McCain. We are personality-wise. How far outside the mainstream is Vox? He's banned from Twitter. That should tell you. So this is how you troll me. I try to tell the story and I keep getting super chats. This is how you troll any Jew. Ben Domenech, head of the Federalist, married to Meghan McCain. We're very different personality-wise. So Ben is going to interview me for the Federalist show, and I'm going to interview him on You're Welcome back to back. And I don't know who's going to go first. We might have to flip a coin, but that is going to be a first time on You're Welcome, and it's going to be a lot of fun because I'm very curious to pick his brain, and I'm sure he's got a lot of questions for me after he reads the book. So, and if you guys, if I'm on Twitter and you guys are tweeting mean things about Megan to him, we're gonna have a problem, and I'm gonna be blocking the fuck out of that because I don't want people to come on my show and have negative consequences, especially about their family. Come on, that's fucked up. And I owe Megan a lot because one time she didn't want to sit in the leg chair and I got to sit in it, and this was a big bucket list item for me. So yeah. Whew. Good time. 725. Wow, that's a lot of you dopes. Oh, you know what I just ordered? One of my there's a guy named Benjamin Tucker who was an early individualist anarchist from the late 1800s. And at the time, there were all these zines, it's kind of like the equivalent of blogs now or whatever. He had a newspaper called Liberty, and I got a copy to hang in my house in frames, so that's going to be really cool. The difference between a libertarian and an anarchist is 6 months. It's in the book. So there's a growing movement of edgy leftists, for example, the Cumtown podcast and the class reductionist left. Do you think this will lessen the anti-social justice argument the right uses to sway centrists? I don't think the anti-social justice argument that the right uses is what's swaying centrists. I think the social justice warriors are swaying centrists and alienating them. I don't think the right is very good at swaying centrists at all. People always talk about I got red-pilled. That's when I realized it was almost never persuasion. And that's, I think, an important distinction to make. So that is that. Okay, let's talk. Get him to put you together. Talk to Molly Hemingway. Yeah, Molly and I DM. We're pals. I think she's the bee's knees. She's absolutely terrific. And also Fred is also great. They're conservatives. They don't agree with me on a lot of stuff, but we are mutual respect. Ron Paul newsletters equals Lou Rockwell's fault. Yes or no? I can't speak on that. Come on. That's an unfair question. The Ron Paul newsletters are Ron Paul's fault. I mean, at the end of the day, and that's what he says. The buck stops here. So, whew. Wait, no, my monster. Good God, I'm getting so sweaty. Whew. Of course bees have knees. They're dogs. What happened with Nadler? Something happened with Nadler? I'm just laughing at what happened with Theresa May. My God, that woman. What happened with Nadler? Because he was trending on Twitter before. Oh, he fainted. Can we call you Mike as long as we're not offering unsolicited advice? No, it seems stupid. You don't need to use my name at all. You're clearly, if it says @Michael Malice, why do you need to use my name? Do you follow any sports? I don't. Thoughts on Breitbart's righteous indignation? I quote it at length in the book. I think you can read my rating on Goodreads, and as I mentioned in the book, I think Ben Shapiro, is my understanding, ghost wrote that. Actually, I was looking for a signed copy of that for a while. I don't think I found one because I think it was like $150 or something crazy. Let me look again. Yeah, no, they're not available, and they're not making any more. Oh shit. Okay, we're good. We're back. That cool. Be cool. I'm here. I don't know why that happened. I'm gonna close out this. I'm not surprised that Willy Wonka would have a wonky stream. Are you a reader of Hunter S. Thompson's books? I read 2 of them. Fear and Loathing Las Vegas and Fear and Loathing the Campaign Trail, which I really, really liked. Your true reaction when Appa Paul falls ill. Yeah. Why am I not maintaining enough video? Your guys are getting buffered. What should I do? Let me close out of... I'm not downloading anything. I don't know what to do. Read book. What is off-putting about supporting the existence of white people? Like the book, but that was nasty rhetoric / non-argument. Well, you could have asked the question without that judgment. It's not an argument. Correct. It's not an argument. It's what's off-putting is that for many people, if you use that expression, they're going to be put off by it. It is not disputable. And for obvious reasons. Okay, we're cool. Video output low, it's saying. Same reason I often won't use the word anarchy, because it's off-putting. People are put off. They will be triggered and not be interested in anything further that you have to say. You liar. I asked if you empathize or celebrate when terrible fall ill. You laughed at Nadler fainting. To be fair, I don't think that's falling ill. If he had like cancer or something like that, that would be a different situation. So something when it's like a silly public spectacle, like if he slipped in a banana peel, you know, that I would laugh at. Here's $1.99. Please get yourself an AC unit. I have one. I just haven't. I'll open the window. You want me to open the window? Okay. I'll open the window. I'm hot because I just drank a pre-workout. So, of course, my pores are opening, whatever it is. So, yeah. Here, I'll wipe. And I'll open the window, but it's not that hot in here. Whew. All right, that's better. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, good times. What were we talking? I want to hear from you guys about I want to hear from you guys about whatchamacallit? I want to hear from you guys about what you thought of. Let's talk about the Rogan thing first. Any thoughts about the Rogan appearance? Pluses, minuses, what I could have done better? What, you know? Oh, Brandon. Okay. That's weird. Okay. That was a weird text to get. Eat more steak. Rogan tried to top you. I don't know. Okay. You didn't talk enough about the book. Okay. It wasn't as good as your second appearance. Okay. Do you still use pea protein? Yeah. Logan was best. Very bro. Okay. I'm bored. Let's go to a movie. Live streaming at the moment. Wish it was longer. Eat more steak. You giggled quite a lot. Yeah. My best friend told me that he likes Jared Taylor and he identifies as a race realist. As a libertarian, this saddens me. How should I approach the situation since I don't support this at all? I'll give him my book. I'm not even kidding. I'll give you guys something else. Jared Taylor was a great interview. He's a smart dude. And when I went in there, I was concerned that he would say something I'd never heard of before and that it would really kind of blow my mind and how would I grapple with it. And his ideas, for him, have their validity. And I addressed them reasonably in the book, and they didn't persuade me. And when I asked him certain questions, like I'd never heard this before, and he was being very open with me. And I'm surprised that someone like him, who is often a target, would be this, wasn't on guard. Or maybe at this point he just doesn't care. So I don't know. I was, okay, so let's read some of these. Wait, hold on. I missed the super chat. My dad listened to you on Rogan. He loved it. Aw, maybe now he won't cry himself to sleep. I've enjoyed your interviews so far, especially with that Stalinist Tom Woods. Rogan was great, even though it went far off topic. But that's what makes Rogan Rogan. That it's just this meandering journey, and it's a hang with two people, and you get to join. Once I understood that, it may not be for you. It's not. I mean, is my point. It's that certain type of show. Um, Rogan's views seem to change with each guest. First, he seems to agree with Schiff, but then he's all over Yang. But yeah, you know what it is? Like when you're hanging out with people, like you're gonna hang out. Oh yeah, that's funny. And then oh, that's true too. It's like being a bro. You're my troll model. That's a great expression. That's your great expression. Wow, I never even heard that. What's this say? Thank you for acknowledging that Fairuza Balk is hot. Dude, she's the hottest. The hottest. I can't stop referring to things as white. The fact that the copy editors let me do that, I was so happy. The idea, in this day and age, that Hitlerism. Didn't talk much about the book. Was a great show. Be cool if you were back on again. Talk about the ideas more in tech censorship. Yeah, but now I'm in a position to be on again. You know, you were great. Rogan terrible this time. Had you talked MMA, you are incredible. 99% ever talk, but he has junk this time. Woods was excellent. Yeah, it was a hang. So if you wanted to watch that to learn about the book, that was the wrong venue. But that's fine because I got to talk about the book in a certain way with Rubin, and then I got to talk about it really in depth with Stapleton, and then you got the overview with Tom Woods. So whatever kind of ketchup you like, I got your music. I love how you set that Pauline Kael misquote straight. Yeah, I think it was I think it was Norman Potteritz who had found the original quote, or one of those types. And I remember I read that article a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh, this is be really good to kind of, because one of the things I also did in the book is whenever there's a quote in the ether, instead of actually just ascribing it, I actually did the homework, or tried to. I don't know if that Lenin quote I have at the beginning of one chapter is 100% attributed to Lenin. But another one is there's this line about I think they say that Goebbels said, you know, attribute to your enemies that which you do yourself, and he never said that. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, it was there's that quote about first they fight you, first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then they quote you, then you win, or something like that. And people think Gandhi said it, but Gandhi was quoting somebody else. So I went down and found the original for that. When is Thaddeus Russell coming on? You're welcome. He's been on before, and he's welcome to come on whenever he wants. Me and Thad are pals. We text all the time. Okay, let me hear more about your comments about Rogan. Okay. Hang with two people, one creeper. I'm not impressed with the Rogan appearance you made the new right seem as everyone racist. Okay. Rogan's interview with Tulsi was very focused, though. Okay. You need a single silk cravat for that outfit you had in Rubin. That makes no sense. Neither Cesar Romero nor Wonka had a silk cravat. How did you feel delivering the whole what do you like best about me bit? It didn't land. Will you be at Skankfest? No. I really enjoyed your appearance on Rogan. I'd like... Okay. Rubin seemed like he didn't know what to do with you. That's good. I know for a fact that he enjoys being on his toes, and it's not going to be a snooze fest. He knows I'm going to bring the party, and at the same time, I'm not going to, embarrass or humiliate him or anything like that. Any more troll strolls now that it's warming up? Yes, I will do that. Absolutely. Would you consider yourself a voluntarist? Yes, anarchist. I'm not 1,000% sure in the pedantic definition of voluntarist, but yes, a voluntary society. You interviewing yourself was hilarious, though. That was so much fun. He called me his friend? Oh, that's cool. I did not see that. Huh. Yeah, I was more traumatized by the non-reaction of people than I was by actually choking. Isn't that interesting? No, it's not interesting at all, but that's the facts. These are the facts. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just check something quick. Okay. Going through a very sad divorce, your live streams and interviews offer a happy distraction. Whenever I get messages like this, it really messes with my head in a positive way, because you have to understand from my perspective. You don't have to understand. Let me explain it to you. I'm just sitting here being myself, and maybe a heightened version of myself because I got the energy drink in me and now another one. But this is the kind of stuff that was not regarded kindly when I was growing up. You know what I mean? So to be like, okay, going through what kind of divorce is not sad? And the trauma, and I don't, it's not my business the details, but this person who was your best friend, whatever, it's a nightmare of all nightmares. There's nowhere to escape psychologically. So if I make you happy or smile, my God, that's the biggest possible compliment. So, I'm glad you think it's only worth $20. The Rubin interview was great, BT Dubs. Thank you. So I really wanted to deliver for him. Any plans to go in the fifth column and talk about the book? Yes. Yes. Have people asked you if you're a part of the new right all the time, and I don't really know if I have a good answer for them. I've given like 4 different answers. Why are you dressed like an incest survivor? I stole that joke from a girl who was on America's Next Top Model. She said that in real life to somebody I knew. Okay, hold on. I got it. Have we had an anarchist state in modern times or close to it? No. Nothing. Yes, in the sense that 99% of our there's no such thing as an anarchist state. This Jason Stapleton, go watch that interview, because he kept saying, "Look, I understand your idea of an anarchist state." I go, "You don't, because you're using the expression anarchist state," and that's why he changed to anarchist system. And when in the tweet about the show, he goes, "Anarchist state advocate Michael Malice." So that's not. 99% of our interactions are anarchist. It just means getting along voluntarily and trading peacefully. Okay, Christian, hold on. I also like hearing what a tradcon like Beck took. He's not a tradcon, or not in that specific NRX kind of sense. He seems somewhat confused and wants to lump the alt-right with progressive. Sure, it's like these people who say Hitler and Stalin are the same. And it's like, you're not, and I said this on Dave Smith today, it's kind of hard to tell that to a Jewish person. Have you met Dykstra at Compound yet? I have not. Cam, I made up troll model for you. Every time you retweet me, it makes my damn week. I feel like I'm doing something right. Well, that is so nice. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Of all the girls you've been on panels with, whom do you find most attractive? Who do you want to most knock out of the leg chair? I don't know what you mean about knock out of the leg chair. Who do you find most attractive? God, there's so many beauties. And attractive to me, most attractive is someone who is an awesome personality. So Kristen Tate, off the top of my head, is way up there. Julie Roginski, her mind is off the charts. That would be one up there. Those are the two that I can. And then a lot of times when they're so good looking, this. Just take a step back before you react. There's an unattractiveness to it because it almost seems not. It's like uncanny valley. Like, this doesn't seem like a real person. They're so good looking. It's just like, I don't even know what I'm talking to. Ethan Suppley talked about that in his episode of You're Welcome. When I asked him about, you're not some hunk. He's like, yeah, like these gorgeous guys who are trying to be actors. I didn't even think of myself in competition because it's a totally different world for them. Okay. I read your thoughts on the police and thought catalog. How do you feel about people in the military? I feel bad for them. And I wish they were, I want them safe in America. That's what I want. I watched Yaron Brook debate a socialist. Socialist asked, if you privatize everything, what happens when one person owns the whole world and wants to kick everyone off his land? How would you respond? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Pun very much intended. I love how you know the cruel facts of the world and still have a positive attitude towards the world. I'm begging you all. Begging you. Read Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus and the Rebel. In fact, one of my friends said, I don't understand the point of your book. And I'm like, that's great. There's two mentalities. When you see a blank canvas, do you think, what is this supposed to mean? Or do you think, this is an opportunity? So one of Camus' biggest points is that life is inherently meaningless. Now, when people hear this, they think, oh, you're a nihilist, you listen to the Smiths. What he means is, there's no meaning. This is an opportunity. Now you can create your own meaning with life. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Once you recognize how inherently absurd the situation is, it's just a beauty in every direction. So, yeah. Thoughts on Molyneux? I don't know what you mean specifically. So yeah, please, and again, that the fact that he said, "What's the point?" I don't understand the point. It's like that is the last chapter of the book is about Camus. That there hasn't have to be a point, and the idea that I, as the author, have to tell you the point. It's your book. You own it. Do what thy wilt. I mean, it's wonderful. And there's nothing wrong with a book just being like, "Oh, that was interesting and fun." You know, or entertaining, or oh, okay, I thought about this in a different way. You know, I mean, I don't think an author, a work should speak for itself. So even if I say the point of this book is X, I'm in a somewhat better position because I'm informed about the content. But if you know, sometimes like I listen to a music lyric, and it means something to me, and I would say probably 100% of the time it's not what the lyricist meant, because it's probably inspired something in their life. So it's perfectly valid. My favorite impression that I did was, did you interview anyone from the right stuff? I did not. Taylor didn't use the phrase, though. You equated all people have right to survive and be dominant pop in an area with the 14 words to dismiss it. I don't know. I don't have the book in front of me to... Yeah, I agree with you. What I'm saying is I do not think that the white race, however you define it, is remotely under threat of being wiped out. Even if there were open borders, full open borders. I do not think that that's the case. At all. Oh, Jim's here. Accuse you of drinking? What do you mean? Wait. Did you think I portrayed you fairly and positively? Wasn't sure what Molyneux's point was in his brief exchange with you. Yeah, I didn't understand it either. You'd have to ask him. Yeah, this is oof, I'm getting all antsy. It's been an hour. It feels like 10 minutes because of these energy drinks. Michael, this monster's so good, Malice. That's true. You said I drank all through my relationship with Anne Ryan. Where did I get Jim? If I said that, I must have gotten it from somewhere, and I apologize to you. Um, where did I say that? I'm sure I did say it, and I'm sure I got it from somewhere. Hold on, let me get it open. If that's the extent of your criticism, I'm happy. The important thing is that I portrayed your ideas fairly and accurately. Any thoughts on the American-Polish-Israeli relationship right now? I have no idea. Can Louis J. Gomez beat up JR? Who's JR? Who's JR? I don't know who JR is. Dave Smith? Jay Okerson? I don't know who JR is. Review bra on your welcome. I don't know why, but I want it. I don't think I could. Oh, can Lewis? No, Lewis can't beat up Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was a national champion athlete with No, there's no way. And Lewis would be the first to tell you that. Hold on, let me get this book open. You know, I don't even have like a current e-copy. I have an old draft. Okay, let me see this. Wait, next. Whoa, constant drinking and violence. I thought she was drinking all the time, Jim. Did I not get that right? I did not mean you. That was the impression I got from Ship Magnet. And if the only thing that's wrong with this chapter is that one word, I'm glad. Should the right fight dirty like the left, a la Rules for Radicals? Other than Vox's book, what tactics can the right use? Read the book. I have a lot of tactics in there. One of the biggest tactics, the first tactic, is identifying the enemy and their techniques. Um, not at all. She was on meth though. Okay, that was the impression I got, and that because it seemed like a lot there was inebriation. And if Vox Day can beat up Joe Rogan, I don't know that that's true. Okay, so now let's talk about the Rubin appearance. What did you guys think of that? Thoughts, likes, dislikes? I'm going to live by your 12 rules of anarchy. Yeah, I'm a modern day Jordan Peterson. Love the jacket. Okay. Oh, okay. You should explain inside jokes to people. Maybe Vox doesn't know that Joe is a national athlete with this regard. The only other thing that bugged me slightly was your cheekiness about left right being a male female. Yeah, but that was I quoted you accurately. Okay, so I'm glad. So otherwise I was fair to you, correct? That's really important to me. Okay, good. But I've said that to you in person or on the phone about the left right thing that you're trans political. I don't think you're in denial. I think according to this definition you would be. Even and but again that's a completely pedantic semantic point. I'm not good with money, so have some of mine. Give it a good home. I've now spent $22 to ask questions on YouTube. My excuse: drunk with friends right now. You don't have any friends. Who the fuck are you fooling? Slightly was. Hold on. Just wanted to say, great book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad you ended with an optimistic view. Not many political books I've read do that. How we are sitting here, hanging out, Friday night, getting high on Monster, and I mean, how can I complain? I mean, my God, life is wonderful. I just there's so many. Again, the mini museum. How awesome is that? There's so much opportunity out there. Rubin could have been longer, like Cernovich. It went pretty long, I thought. Um, are you really at her wedding? That's really funny. Okay, any other thoughts on the Dave Rubin appearance? Kickstarter deleted. It felt quick. Okay, thanks, Kalen. Sure, please. Do you still have Rand's Fountainhead copy? Of course I have it. The socks were Hubba Bubba socks. So it's of course appropriate that if I'm doing a show about I'm dressed like a candy person, I'm going to have bubblegum colored socks. Come on now. Is the bonus Ruben clip up now? I have no idea. I didn't realize Ruben has such haters. And I gotta tell you, I try to emulate Ruben to some extent because when I have guests on, I don't want to be combative. I want them to feel comfortable. Although I guess I see what you're saying. You could be more antagonistic without being combative. Any other thoughts about the specific Rubin appearance? This one. I watched the Rubin show several times. It was good. I like Dave's show a lot, but I particularly love the way you kept him so playfully off balance. That is the trickster element I have, which I enjoy. And especially if I'm friendly or friends with the host and they know. See, there's two types of things. There's the host who doesn't know who I am, and I come in and they're like scared because they're like, oh shit, this guy. It's, you know what it's like? It's like people playing their music on the subway and everyone's like, why don't you tell them to stop? Because you don't know if this person is transgressing in terms of playing music in public, are they going to transgress in terms of violence, right? So if I'm on shows and they don't know who I am and I'm getting into this kind of trickster element, a lot of times they don't like, oh shit, is this guy going to start cursing? Is he going to start being racist? So on and so forth. Ruben, you know, who knows me quite well, I was in a position to really mess with him. Did I miss? Okay. Got my dad to read Dear Reader, by the way. It's the first book he's read all the way many years. Holy shit. What a huge compliment. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, there's a compliment by word and compliment by deed. And that's, oh my god. Wow. That's amazing. Oh my god. I see a future where we are all just watching each other. Think about how Facebook sells your metrics. What if you could fully monetize what Facebook collects, but on your own behalf? Rubin Report was too short, 1 hour. I love it how people think two people talking for an hour is too short. Do you know what I mean? So, I think a lot of people you criticize as the left are just the type of idiot Paul obsessed neoliberals that Slavoj Žižek has criticized for decades. Oh, absolutely. When I say the left, I don't mean all the left. I mean a specific, especially specific element of the left. $750 people. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm done with all these shaving soaps. Oh, I love it when people think that if they use all caps, they're gonna get a response as opposed to getting banned. Shh, don't yell at me. Who the fuck are you? Halfway through the audiobook, great read so far. Only criticism is the origin of the term kek. It's my understanding originated from the South Korean World of Warcraft servers. That is correct. So there's a mix there, and I got that. So that's a minor correction. That it's valid. Thank you. The best I'm gonna do my Marvis review, and I'll sell them all when I'm done with them. I'm like 6 out of 10. No, Keck was both. It was from the World of Warcraft, but also LOL. Yeah. It's fascinating. Half of you were like, okay, Ruben was too short, and half of you was like, he sucks. He didn't give you good questions, so. Oof. Thanks, James. Any chance to get Jonathan Haidt on, you're welcome. If so, what would you like to talk to him about? Well, what he likes best about me. No, I can. I'm gonna try to get him in the future. He'd be a great get. That's a no-brainer. Absolutely. Obviously I wrote it. I thought I was proud of myself for conflating him with the Neil Strauss school, and I'm sure he wouldn't like that. Okay. Do you think a Tulsi would be able to hold her anti-war line as president, or would she be swallowed by the deep state? That is the question. So I've had this big argument with Ed Stringham, right, who wrote Anarchy in the Law, which is superb, who edited it rather. Two questions. Obama, was a, urban, and I don't mean that as a euphemism, uh, Ivy League leftist. Anti-war, anti-war, anti-war. He gets to office, it's drone city. There's two scenarios. One is you become president, they sit you down, they go, yeah, that was really cool during the campaign, here's how it's going to be. Or two, he was a total sociopath. I think it's much more the former, but I have absolutely no idea. I don't think anyone else does either. Was surprised in Tom Wood's interview as to your great dislike of Buckley. Have to read that chapter for clarity. Oh, make sure you do. And you will see this is not a visceral emotional thing. I brought the receipts. H&R Block. Absolutely. I think the anti-war was Obama's main position, or close to it. That's what he beat Hillary on, one of the big ones. With all the bots Facebook has been purging, I was thinking, can they sell metrics to advertisers generated solely on bots? They do. That is a big issue with advertisers, that they're like, these aren't true statistics. This is the way people game the system. So, but the market accounts for that. Okay, so how many of you let's talk about the Tom Woods show this week. There was 5 episodes, which was a lot of fun. What did you guys think of? Thank you, Paul. I hope are you related to? Are you related to Keith? Obama's the best evidence the war machine is in charge. Yeah, I agree with Darren. Um, what did you guys think of the week of Tom Woods? Thanks again, James. Thoughts on the Krasenstein Bros being banned? I'm surprised. I am surprised. Okay, Tom Woods was great. Not long enough. 5 weeks. Okay, no, not related. There's 5 Woods episodes. Am I a Heineken guy or Pabst Blue Ribbon? I'm a Stout guy. And Newcastle. Tom and I have so much fun. We have so much fun. I wasn't being snarky when I say hi, Tom. I don't think that's true. I'm chipper. I Tom is great. Ever had an Imperial Russian Stout? I have, and I enjoy them, and I can't think of. Isn't there one arrogant Russian bastard? I think I like that because of the name, because it's me. I'm shocked at how good all these interviews were this week and how different they were. So, I mean, the hosts really did a great job. Oh, this guy's upset you guys are paying me money to talk about my opinion and stuff. Sorry. It's good work if you can get it. Too bad no one cares about what you think. Thoughts on SpaceX launch yesterday? I have no idea. Global internet, $99 a month, or the birth of good Skynet? I don't know anything about this. I'm so sorry. I hate Guinness. I like stouts. I think Guinness is like one of the worst stouts. The Federalist interview hasn't happened yet. It's going to be recorded on June 7th. That's Ben Domenech. Yeah, all my interviews are going to be on michaelmalice.com, but I haven't, updated it because it's been kind of busy. I loved your interview with Michael Malice. I got your audiobook and I loved him. Ugh, that pompous prick. God, he was such a diva. Went to friend's Rutgers Law School graduation today. The speech mentioned justice 50 times, didn't mention liberty once. You got it. I'm really curious what this tastes like. This Garbage Pail Kids. Turn the new right into a documentary. I could see it being more of a show. There's different ways to go with it. Matt is really smart. Stapleton's co-host. We had a great lunch after. Ever drink stout cans from Myers Superfoods? Isn't that just for hunks? It's a cherry bomb flavor. It's only at FYE. Mother's Milk is a great stout, which I really like. I want that stout to feel like a meal. Guinness is pretty watery, despite what it looks like, and foamy. Okay, did any of you watch the, when someone first gets to office, they're shown the Kennedy assassination from a different angle? I wouldn't be surprised. Recommend any tequila. I don't know. I went through that. We had the 2 episodes of The Arduous March, and none of them were tequila, so I can't speak on that at all. I'm completely ignorant, and I don't drink. Greg's back. Hey, Greg. I just powered through the audiobook in 2 days. Great work. That is another big compliment. I did this on a previous... Coffee stouts are great, but I don't really drink. That was a great compliment I got, how so many people read the book or listened to it in 1 or 2 days. That, again, tells the author that he did something right. I'm about halfway through the book at the moment. It's great. Did you get a lot from the Rothbard book you and Tom read way back? Somewhat. Somewhat. Yeah, that audio was a lot of fun. Why is the new right not about the new left? It's a head scratcher. I have no idea how sales are. They haven't told me. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna switch to Kool-Aid so I don't have a heart attack. Yeah, that Molly tweet. I didn't understand it. It wasn't a lame troll attempt by Stefan. I know that for a fact. Seems like the left is trying to manifest the wrath of God. There's a reason grace and forgiveness produce more prosperity over time. The grace of God. Someone should write a book about that. Another book. I didn't feel disrespected by Joe at all. Not even a tiny little bit. I felt very respected. I'm of the school that when you make fun of someone, it's a sign of affection and respect. By the way, the fact Darren, I'll tell you on Sunday in our chat. You're not even you were almost there. The fact that both Jeffrey Tucker and Chris Cantwell are like the book tells me I did something right or I did something really wrong. I don't. Can you guys please tell me what you're perceiving to be Joe being disrespectful or not liking me? I felt none of that. So please let me know what you perceived. I felt completely respected. The truth about the new right video. If you're on for 3 hours, he likes you. Yeah. Yeah, not the red Kool-Aid. It's funny. I don't know what you're referring to. What book? What do you mean? He overtalked you? Yeah, he does that. That's not disrespect. I don't feel. It's his show. Yeah. What do you mean by what book? I'd be glad to answer you. If do you mean my book? It's called The New Right. I don't know what else you mean. You just keep saying what book. I'm sorry. I don't. Please. Now that's how you troll me. Ask me a legitimate question over and over. Is Thad planning to interview you again? Yes, I think so. Steroid nipples protruding. Very, very disrespectful. Oh, someone should write another book. Oh yeah, that's. Oh, I mean, they were asking about regarding leftism as a religion, and I looked at the camera and said someone should write another book about that. So that's self-referential. Yeah, Darren. Joe twice personally offered to interview to help you succeed. He loves you big time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why would he have someone on 3 times that? Yeah, you could like someone and have disrespectful moments though. That's what I was asking. Ambient kicked in. Thanks for all the content. Good night. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, Sakuraba. Joe gave you a good interview. 3 hours disappeared. Yeah, I'm very. It's interesting to me. Sorry for raising my voice, but I'm amped. I've noticed Joe has a difficult time dealing with guests that are like him, humorous and knowledgeable. Okay. I didn't feel like he was having a difficult time because we went long and we had to cut it just because of the length. So I don't think he felt out of sorts. I can't speak on him. Would you like to tell us the joke you had to cut? I told it earlier, but I'll be glad to tell it again, which is you need to know your audience. You're not going to tell a room full of kindergartners a joke about fellatio, no matter how good they are at it, because they're not going to be familiar with the term. He does that with all his guests coming. My friend, try to test metal. You won. Oh, okay, test their metal. Okay. It's in the audiobook. It's not in the physical book. And I've said that joke before. I put it back into the audiobook. Yes, I did. And as well as referring to The Matrix as a documentary. And my face is a shiny... Jesus Christ, look at that. I'm like melting in front of you. I haven't slid into Don Jr.'s DMs. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared. I'll do it. If Rubin robs a Rubes Rubin, can Rubin run from Rob's Rubens with the Rubes Rubin? Done. That's why I'm professional. I'll slide into Junior's DMs. What have I got to lose? If he unfollows me, then it was never meant to be, you know? Was the fellatio joke yours? Mine. Pure mine. I'm aging and uglifying. I'm modern day Gavin McIngus. What changed in what way when I gave him the gift? For the worse? For the better? Do you see parallels between Donald Trump and Howard Rourke of Fountainhead? Love the new right. Yeah, the parallels are they built skyscrapers, right? But I don't think Donald Trump is this kind of exemplar of integrity, nor is he this hardcore introvert. What an amazing time we live in. Jordan Peterson and Prager. Wow. Okay. That's funny. That... Whew. Let me just see one more thing. That's my DM. Okay. God, it's been an hour and a half. Are you guys still having fun with this? I hope so. Oh, is it Laird Hamilton? Oh, that's so cool. Is that really Thaddeus Russell? Thad, if that's really you, text me. The New Right doesn't want to take over the cathedral. They want to burn it down. I don't know that that's really Thad. If it's really him, he has to text me. It's him. It's him. It's really Thad. Thad, when am I going to be on your show or vice versa? It's him. It's really Thad. Curious what you said to Dave after the show today. Yeah, I said it off camera for a reason. This is for you, Thaddeus Russell. When people ask me, would you go on this or go on that? Bye, Nicole. Especially vis-a-vis North Korea, I will go to, like, people made fun of Margaret Sanger for speaking to the Klan. I will go on any show with a big enough audience to fight for, advocate for the North Korean people. I don't have I mean, I'm going to be total hardcore leftist here. I do not have the privilege not to do that. They really, so this idea of like, oh, this is a very progressive, waspy, Puritan idea. Oh, I'm not going to, it's beneath me to go on this show. There's people watching it. Fuck you. I have to do it. I think you said you avoided libertarian circles lately. Can you explain why, when anarchism seems like it's just cranking the libertarian knob up to 10, it's not a knob. It's turning. It's pulling. It's turning off the box. I don't think I avoid libertarian circles so much as I'm not particularly drawn to them. I'm not going to learn anything really from them. Simon doesn't want to do. You're welcome. Tacos or sandwiches? Well, that's just stupid. They're not even English. Joe's comment on "So you work out, I feel your pain." Yeah. I mean, that is something that is I wish I could change. Will you be at Porkfest this year? Nope. The thing is, with my frame, I'm. Do you even lift with clothes on? Even when I'm at my fittest. So, and if I got like jacked, it would be hard to. I would look stupid. So I'm in this weird position. It'd be one thing if I was 6'2", but I'm 4'8", so it's a very different. By the way, can you have your friend Michael Goldstein on? You're welcome. You got me into Bitcoin, and Michael is literally one of the most knowledgeable on Bitcoin. I know who he is. I'll have him on one day. I'll bust his balls. He's great. Oh, what a great, great guy. Just, I can't say enough good things about him. What were we just talking about? I already lost it. That's what happens when you're... Oh, let's talk about... I was really shocked and delighted by how good of a job Dave Landau, Gina Bisconti, Bill Schultz, and Joanna Sachinsky did hosting Nightshade. I was like, holy shit, they all knocked it out of the park. And it's really fucking appreciated. What's your take on Trump Iran? Are we just standing up to authoritarianism or risking unjust war? I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I don't really know anything about Jordan Peterson at all. Go Mad plus NRX. Hotep Jesus, that was a good interview. There's no feud. I'm sorry. Scott Horton and I interacted once. There's no feud. I wish he does great work. I wish him nothing but the best. That's it. I've never met him. We've never emailed. We've had one Twitter exchange once. That's it. I do enjoy infighting. I'm not gonna lie, and I do think it's funny when people can't be in a room together and all this other stuff. That's not the situation. If let me see, let me give you some infighting. You want infighting? Who is it that I infight with? I can't think of anybody. Who do I? I can't think of anybody. Maybe there's people who don't like me, but they don't come at me, and that's fine. I'm trying to think of who I if there's I'm like I wouldn't even name the name. I'm trying to think if there's someone whom like, oh god, I can't be around this person. I can't think of anyone. Dave Style, Dave is the best. I've never read Ayn Rand's books. What order should I read them in? Okay, here we go. And the fragrance advice. Yes. Ayn Rand's books: Anthem, Fountainhead Atlas Shrugged. We the Living can go anywhere you want in there. Advice for buying fragrances online. Get a fuck ton from Lucky Scent samples and also from Twisted Lily. And then you can find things you like that are in common and explore that way. Owen Benjamin has been going after Rogan hard. Thoughts? I didn't know this, and I don't know why. I get along with both of them. Owen, here's another thing. Like I mentioned this on the live stream. Owen Benjamin gave me a lot of respect. Someone told him that I trash him in the book. As you've seen, he's mentioned once. And instead of flipping out, he emails me, he texts me, he goes, "Is this true?" And I go, "No." And he's like, "Okay, cool." That to me is respect and the right thing to do. But he was lied to. Someone tried to create drama, and he didn't fall for it. So to me, that's respect. And I respect in return. I don't even know how the David Koresh line would refer to Scott at all. I have no idea. What are the key positions philosophically or policy-wise that you see separating libertarian from anarchist? I would say the validity of political action and legitimacy of the state. And how evil government is. Are white guys getting less guacamole? I don't know that reference. I want to hear. Okay, here's something I want to ask you guys about. What was your favorite part of the Would you bang Ayn Rand back in the day? I don't know what she would look like in real life. That's a big if. Apparently, she had really sloppy vag, according to the book by Ann Heller, and that's an issue. Just finished listening to your audiobook for the second time today. I've only read or listened to a handful of books more than once. Clearly, I hate it. That's really funny. I like that. That's exactly how you write it. What about VD? He said maybe I'll interview him. Do you mean Vox Day? I don't know what you mean. What about him? I talk about him a lot in the book, and I think it's all positive. Is this still fun for you? 666 people from my perspective. Hottest ethnicities? I'd say Persian's up there. That's way up there. It seems convenient that when domestic failed, Iran is suddenly worse than Putin. Oh yeah, you get it. Is this still fun for you guys? Well, I want to hear what you guys like the most about. Oh, he's pro Branch Davidians, but I was pro Branch Davidian. I mean, Waco is a nightmare. This is not exclusive to Scott at all. Okay, so I want to know what you guys. I hate fun. I had it once. It was awful. What do you guys think of um I want to know what you guys think of the audiobook because I've had a lot of messages saying people loved it. Fun or a great band? You're crazy. Dang it. White. White people. White privilege. The idea. How could anyone not read their own book? It makes no sense. Yes, Vox Day, would you let him interview you? Um, Probably. I'd be curious to know what he thought of the book first. Obviously, I'm sure he's got a lot of things to say about it. Jared Taylor, I haven't heard from Jared Taylor. I don't know which gets the highest return because it goes to St. Martin's. So Thad didn't read his own book. Oh my god, pathetic. Did you see Milo drama with the skanks? Yeah. I don't have any inside information. It's disturbing. We talked about it a bit on Dave's show today, part of the problem. So definitely check that out. We go back and forth and have a good discussion about Milo being on the skanks. And of course, I have a chapter about Milo in the book. I downloaded the Jordan Peterson Milo interview. I haven't watched it yet. I thought it'd be a lot better if they were together. All right, I'll do this for another 10 minutes, then I'm gonna take a break. Um, I'm crashing a little bit from the energy drink. And I gotta look up more shaving soaps. All right. Loved your definition of trolling in the Rubin interview. Thank you. And I thought that's the other thing that drives me crazy when words lose their meaning in the vernacular, which is inevitable because innovation happens in the culture. By the time it gets to the mainstream, it loses all meaning, just like with any form of art. And right now, it started happening. In 2 months, it'll be everywhere. I saw one person. Trump derangement syndrome is being used by this one person to mean Trump is making me feel crazy. Like Trump is maddening. So they are using it to mean it's his fault. Any opinions change while writing than you write? Yes, my opinion of the publishing industry got much worse. But in terms of my personal opinions, I don't really think so. Why do people hate Vox? I don't know what the beef is with him. If people can elucidate, I'd be very interested. Do you plan out your trolls or it's in the moment? It's almost always in the moment. Almost always in the moment. I have watched Windy City Heat. Yeah. Oh, in his book, Vox. Okay, he misrepresented Peterson. Okay. I see. Okay. I think Joe likes me too. Okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, Vox just wrote that book against Jordan Peterson. Um, I used to think you were underrated. Well, don't you mean overrated? Underrated means I'm better than people think. Yeah, there you go. Did you viral market and poll? I have not. I got some DS and Durga samples and put on a Q-tip and skin to smell. Okay, that's the way to do it. Also, is one sample percent enough? Absolutely. Once you do it in the yeah, you're doing exactly what I said to do. Complex Foss. That's exactly the right way. But don't go through one line. Go through Lucky Scent, and if you're a guy, look at the most popular male scents. That would be a very easy way to do it. Did any of you watch um the Jason Stapleton stuff? And I want to hear your thoughts. Any plans that have Styx and Hammer on? Someone said they would pay Styx's uh flight to New York, and he still said no. I would. I think the internet would love it if Styx and I were on the show together. Come on, that's such a good. Just Darren, if you look at, just Google. It's on my. I retweeted it. The Jason Stapleton interview. +1 for Styx on your show. Yeah, I did a live stream with my pants already collection. How did you plan out your interview with Malice? It was all improv. Oh, Vox is also an athlete? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. All right, I'm going to bounce in 3 more minutes. I have not read much Milton Friedman. I have read Thomas Sowell. My allergies. I think Owen's heightest thing is him joking and being tongue in cheek. Come on. Thanks, Hominid. What else do I want to ask? Oh, I definitely want to see you guys tell me what you think of the Conservatarians episode and the Dave Smith episode next time I do a live stream. Oh, that hagfish. Oof. The problem with having a zoology background is like I look at food as kind of like, I know what this animal is. That hagfish was gross. I'm not going to lie. Not as gross as it could have been, but it was not something I would do again. Um, and thanks to you guys for the super chats for paying for that meal. Oof. The problem with people, of course I would do an interview with Jordan Peterson. if you guys go to Naked and Famous in New York, make sure to mention my name to them. Okay. I'm going to head out, even though there's so many of you here. I hope this was fun. It was 2 hours. Um, oh, Ethan Suppley got me. He got me good. Oh, fuck. That was not fake. He had me. Hagfish sounds good. Yeah. So thank you so much for the support. I'm gonna leave this one up, I think. Um, I'm working my way through the shaving soaps. I'm up to letter G, and yeah, I'll cover the Marvis in another episode. And I got all these old. Oh my god! You want to see one more thing? Give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna show you something cool. Have you had this season Omakase Zenkichi? I have not. 1 second. I'll be right. Trust me, it's worth it. So, here I am. All right. So, when Adam told me that I had to buy stupid things, here's some more stupid things I bought, and I'm gonna cover it on another live stream. I bought all these old timey aftershaves. So I got. There's this brand. Are you voting Trump 2020? I will never vote. So there's this company. Do you consider yourself more on the right or left? According to your own litmus test, it sounds like you'd be on the right. I don't. It would be a mix. So one of the things I bought with the super chat money was these old timey colognes, or aftershaves rather. So there's this company Clubman. They smell like your grandfather, and I got little bottles of all 8, and I'm gonna review them on another time. Because it's stupid. Adam said spend it on something stupid, so I'm spending on something stupid. The other thing is the book is attacking the radical left, and I bought this, which is a vintage bottle of cologne. It turns out it's trying to mimic Aqua Velva, the scent. And then I bought this, which is based off of, for some reason, my favorite TV show of all time, Dallas. So when I get these super chat money and people are like, you have to buy something stupid, well, I listen. So thank you. Now I'm going to have all these, and also all those Marvis toothpastes. And now this desk is full. Okay. I will talk to you. Hi, karate. I'm gonna get at some point. I'm gonna have to go down a rabbit hole of like old timey colognes because they all smell terrible. Um, Thank you all for the support. Hope this was fun. I'm gonna leave this one up, and I will see you soon.